Hi there, I'm Rob. You also know me as RBM guy, and well, I make people better. That's what I do. I wanted to say something about this lady, Maria Fassi. She plays on the LPGA Tour on golf, and recently she had a knee injury, and she was going to do some surgery. Now, the reason why she has to do the surgery is because her left knee, especially when she swings, because she sets up like this. Her feet are like that. So her left foot, this is her left foot, is my hand, I know that. But if you look at her swing with the driver especially, she has a foot like that. That means that when she goes to impact, her knee has to twist now. And the funny thing about knees is they are made to do basically this angle. The joint in the knee is doing up and down. There is some sideways, lateral, a little bit. But she twists her knee to impact because because of her left foot is, doing that. And it's an easy fix to do, if her swing coaches through her career would have just tell her to move and flare the left foot out, most likely her injury could have been totally avoided. But the problem with that is that in golf they don't understand the golf swing. And obviously they don't understand the human anatomy either, how the things are moving in the body. So that's kind of weird situation, and we can see that a lot of two pro golfers like Tiger Woods, Brooks Koepka, Luke Donald, Lawmarker, and others, Jason Day, all have injuries that could have been avoided if you understood the golf swing and mechanics and how the body is supposed to move and stuff like that. But as far they couldn't figure it out. In 120 years of modern golf, they haven't been able to figure it out. And I know some of you are Mo Norman fans. He was a Canadian golfer. He was famous for having an address position and impact position the same because they called it single axis. And I don't understand why people study Mo Norman, because if you look at Hans, the guy you see here on YouTube, he used to have that left foot straight. And I was telling him why. I told him to flare it out. Then he said, "No, I don't want to do that, man." And I was there, you think it's a beauty contest? A fashion show? I mean, I bet you guys even have a dress code playing golf. And he was like, "How did you know?" Well, it kind of makes sense. Anyhow, he started to flare his foot out and get used to that idea and did better. But he's also doing something that Mo Norman was doing, but he's not doing single axis. He's not doing all that shit people teach you in other study of Mo Norman and all that stuff. So here's a picture of Hans. So that's the picture of him at the dress position at the impact recently. And this is the reason why he'll be more consistent. And also, if you talk about injuries, he had a injury when he had the modern golf swing. He hurt his back. And I told him to change his swing. It was many years ago. And he told me, no, I don't want to do that because, I did that when I was 15 and I don't want to change my swing again. I was like, you can't play with that because your back hurts. Yeah, but he didn't want to change. So this is the reason why I'm sitting here today talking about golf. It's because he didn't want to change, so I had to, study the golf swing, do some research, some observation testing, and what I found out is the golf instructors, the teaching two pros and amateurs do not understand the golf swing whatsoever. I mean, it's such guesswork. Now, I had an interaction with a guy called Rock Burke on YouTube. He seems to be a nice guy. And he was making some comments about Hans and what he should fix and all that stuff. But the problem with those fixes, they won't work. Because Rock didn't understand what Hans is doing is actually C motion. If you want to. Well, C motion is basically what Peter Thompson did. He was an Australian golfer. He won a lot of tournaments, but in 5 British Opens, stuff like that. You see it with someone like Sam Snead and other golfers. So sea motion is not, something specific to one person or something like that. It's a mechanic. And Hans is doing sea motion, but it's the advanced version. Well, I taught Hans how to do it. That's the big secret here. So I told Hans, if you start working on that, you get better at swinging. That was a couple of months ago, and he started working on that, and he was kind of struggling a bit, I will admit. He was kind of pissed off, and I said, that's okay, because sometimes, doing these changes can be really, a process now. But here's the thing, once you get through that process, your swing just work. It's like riding a bike, driving a car, walking, running, planning dinner, watching a video like this. It's easy, and your swing will just work. Because today, what they teach people to do in tour pros and amateurs is so difficult to do. They can't do it in a consistent way. And what Hans is doing and demonstrating here about the drastic impact, that his swing has very little changes in motion, and that's the big secret. If you can reach that, you will play more consistent golf. And you can shoot a lower score, more majors or whatever you want to do. If you're an amateur, you also want to be able to hit better drives and, play from tee to green in a good way and, just be happy about that. Yeah, I know. Then when you can do that, you will complain about your putting. That's how it works. Oh yeah, my tee to green game is now fantastic, but my putting sucks. What should I do about that, Rob? Well, then I will tell you what to do about that. Anyway, I'm gonna end it because I'm tired. I suffer from something called ME, and that's a energy deficiency illness. People used to call it chronic tiredness, which is not correct. I'm not really tired. I have energy deficiency, which means I have a trouble understanding and following, conversation. My sister and her husband was here a few days ago, and I basically fell asleep sitting up talking to them. Because you get so-called brain fog, so your cells and your neurons firing all that stuff is a little bit different for me than it used to be. And I had this for 21 years, so it's not something that happened yesterday. But the problem I have is that it's getting worse. So that's why the golf instruction takes time to get out, because I can't work as fast as I once upon was able to. And I'm worse this year than I was last year, and last year I was worse than the year before that. So it's not getting, it's not going in a good direction. Hopefully I won't end up in a wheelchair, but you never know. This kind of stuff is not good, because when you're tired in this way with the energy deficiency, that means that sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I have trouble even getting up out of bed. That's how bad it can be sometimes. When I do kind of video talk like this, or doing a walk, that's also exhausting for me. So anyway, Maria Fassi's swing problems aside, her knee injury was totally unavoidable. She wouldn't, because if anyone around her understood why, they would just told her to flare her foot out, and it would have fixed it, because then your knee and your foot is doing the same direction. When your foot is in one direction and your body's going out, then it's going to twist your knee, and usually something pops. And let me tell you that a lot of people who play hockey, football, baseball and such, when you run and twist and you hurt yourself, when you grow older and you have knee issues, playing golf can be difficult, because you're in pain all the time. So pay attention to that, guys and ladies, and I thank you for listening and watching this tape. And as you know, I make people better. That's what I do.